SheiKra is the Bolliger Mabillard dive machine at Busch Gardens Tampa. This was the first coaster of its kind to make its way to North America, and this ride type has increased in popularity over the past decade. These types of coasters are viral sensations, given their holding brake and vertical drops. But how does SheiKra stack up to the newer ones? Find out in this review. Bolliger Mabillard debuted the dive coaster in 1998 with Oblivion at Alton Towers. This ride was a one-trick pony, but what a trick it was. This coaster featured one of the best drops in the world. It had a near vertical drop into an underground tunnel. This ride was a hit, and was cloned at Janfusen Fancy World in Taiwan in 2000. The first dive coaster to make its way to North America was in 2005 when Busch Gardens Tampa opened SheiKra. This opened as the largest dive coaster at 200 feet, or 61 meters in height. But it also did two things that would follow on all future dive coasters. First, this coaster featured a perfectly vertical drop. B&M redesigned the wheel carriages to accommodate this greater drop angle. Second, the drop was immediately followed by an Immelman. This was the first inversion on a dive coaster, and it has remained the second element on every single dive coaster ever since SheiKra. This ride was so successful that it would actually be cloned at Happy Valley in 2009. Then Busch Gardens Williamsburg also received a similar coaster in 2007 with Griffon. This coaster took the dive coaster height record from SheiKra, and it also added a few extra elements in the second half. Griffon also opened with floorless trains, a first for dive coasters. SheiKra originally opened with floored trains like the original two dive coasters, but it was upgraded with floorless trains shortly after Griffon opened. This left riders even more exposed, making the signature drop even more thrilling. This coaster is placed in the Stanleyville section of the park, and this ride looks great. The drop can be seen from miles away, and it's mesmerizing up close. Then I love how the layout interacts with the nearby pathways, particularly with the Splashdown. This was the first element of its kind on a dive coaster. Then the ride also has a nice paint scheme. The red track and blue supports look great in a bright sunny day. SheiKra has a very high throughput when operating at full capacity. Each train holds 24 riders, as the trains have 3 rows of 8. Then the ride has a dual load platform to maximize dispatches. 2 trains are sent out back to back. The dual platform is used on busy days when the park has sufficient staffing. On these days, SheiKra usually operates with 4 trains. On quieter days, the ride may use just 1 platform and operate with less trains. In all my visits, SheiKra has at least 2 trains on the course, but I have heard of the park running just 1 train on very quiet days. The queue length depends wildly on the day. On quiet days, SheiKra is usually no more than a 10-15 minute wait, given that it has high capacity. But on busy days, particularly summer weekends, this line can exceed an hour due to its popularity. If the line is long, SheiKra is included in the park's paid quick queue Skip the Line pass. You merge in the station, and you're free to select any row you'd like. The front always has a longer wait. People want that unobstructed visual staring down the drop. But I think SheiKra offers a superior experience in the back row. You get better airtime on the vertical drop as you are whipped over the crest. If both platforms are in use, most guests seem to flood towards the front one. You can usually board a train or 2 faster if you head towards the back platform. Riders are restrained by over-the-shoulder harnesses. These are ratcheting restraints, so they tend to have a bit more room for airtime than the vest restraints found on the newer dive coasters. Once dispatched, you round a corner and ascend the lift hill. It is a very steep climb, and if you're on the end, you get a good view of some of the nearby coasters. This view continues for all once you reach the top. You then have a flat 180-degree turn high above the ground. It ends by staring towards Pantopia and the Serengeti area, which is quite the sight. But you need to brace yourself because there's a break coming up that's pretty jarring. You then roll onto the holding brake and stare at the ground. It is a terrifying visual. A lot of dive coasters plunge into a tunnel, but SheiKra instead pierces through some supports, which still serves as an effective head chopper. After being held for a few seconds, you are released down the vertical drop. This is the highlight of the ride. It offers sustained floater airtime in all rows, but the negative Gs are a bit stronger in that rear row. The pullout not only has the aforementioned near misses, but it also is very forceful. The positive Gs are strong here, and they're maintained in the climb into the Immelman, so I usually will gray out here. The flip out of most Immelmans is pretty forgettable for me, but the one on SheiKra is quite good in the back row. It offers a surprise pop of airtime. Nothing too wild, but more than what you usually get in this type of element. This is followed by a low turn and a banked climb into the mid-course brake run. This offers another high dose of positive Gs, and I've started to gray out here in a few rides. Then the transition into the mid-course brake run is profiled in such a way that you get a weak pop of airtime when you snap upright. You are then harshly brought to a near full stop in the mid-course brake run. This is another spot where you'll want to brace yourself. Then you roll forwards over another vertical drop that's roughly half the size of the first. This one offers more sustained floater airtime, and as before, it has a bit more oomph in that back row. And this drop plunges into a tower that leads into an underground tunnel. It's a nice visual. Next is a large turnaround, but this element is a dud, and it doesn't offer any notable forces. Then you have the splashdown element over the water. On ride, this is a cool effect in the edge seats because you're dangling above the water. But this element looks way cooler off ride as it creates a colossal splash. You can get soaked if you're standing in the wrong spot. You then climb upwards, getting a smidge of weightlessness. Then there's a 270-degree spiral into the final brakes. This looks pretty slow, but it does offer some moderate Gs. Then you return to the station, ending the 3,188-foot or 972-meter-long coaster. In terms of pacing, SheiKra's first half is near perfect for a dive coaster. The ending is pretty lackluster though after that second drop. I really like how B&M tweaked the finale for Griffin to add some extra airtime pops to rectify this issue. As for smoothness, SheiKra tracks very well. This ride is smooth, and I could ride it all day long. So what would I rate SheiKra? I would give this dive coaster an 8 out of 10. This is a great ride. The two vertical drops are fantastic and chock full of airtime. Then the Immelman and subsequent turn apply heavy positive Gs as a nice contrast. My one con with this coaster is the weak finale, but the first half is strong enough to keep me coming back anytime I'm at the park. Compared to other dive coasters, I do have this towards the middle. I prefer some of the newer ones with more dynamic layouts, but SheiKra still holds up overall. So those are my thoughts on SheiKra at Busch Gardens Tampa. What are your thoughts on this dive coaster? Is it one of your favorites for the genre? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there will be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.